Russia says its forces have seized more territory in Ukraine as Kyiv reports drone strikes on Russian oil facilities. Moscow's defense ministry says its troops took control of 3 settlements in the Dnipro-Petrovsk region and hit Ukrainian infrastructure. Russia's nuclear agency confirmed a Ukrainian drone targeted the Smolensk nuclear plant, but said operations were unaffected. Meanwhile, Ukrainian officials said security services struck Russia's largest Baltic oil port in Primorsk and several pumping stations in a series of drone attacks. The United States has vowed to defend NATO after a suspected Russian drone incursion into Poland triggered the alliance's first defensive action since the Ukraine war began. At the UN Security Council, acting US envoy Dorothy Scheer said Washington stands by its allies against what she called alarming violations of NATO airspace. Her remarks came after President Donald Trump suggested the incursion may have been a mistake. Poland rejected that, showing photos of downed drones with Russian markings. Russia denied targeting Poland, insisting its drones could not have reached that far. A joint statement backed by 43 nations accused Moscow of violating international law.
Full-scale invasion on Ukraine in 2022, that Polish territorial integrity has been purposely violated.
China has urged calm and restraint after drones from the Ukraine war breached Polish airspace, triggering a NATO air defense response. At an emergency UN Security Council meeting, China's Deputy Envoy Geng Shuang called on all parties to resolve disputes peacefully and avoid escalation. Poland said 19 drone objects crossed its skies on Wednesday, F-16s and Dutch F-35s, intercepting several. Geng described the incident as a spillover of the Ukraine crisis, stressing the need for dialogue, goodwill and renewed momentum for peace talks. The United States and its allies have condemned Russia over a drone incursion into Poland, accusing Moscow of violating international law. In a joint statement read before the UN Security Council, Poland's Secretary of State, Marcin Błaszczak, urged Russia to halt its war in Ukraine and avoid further provocations. The statement was backed by Washington and 42 other countries. President Donald Trump said earlier the drone incident could have been a mistake, but allies insist it marks a serious breach of NATO airspace.
And my government, Poland. We are here to express our grave concern.
Poland's foreign minister says Russian drones violating its airspace are part of a pattern, urging allies to show Moscow there are limits. Radoslaw Sikorski told reporters in Kyiv that NATO must collectively stop what he called Russia's hybrid war. Poland and allied jets shot down drones Wednesday in the alliance's first defensive action of the Ukraine war. Russia denied deliberately targeting Poland, but Sikorski rejected President Trump's suggestion it may have been a mistake, saying a 7-hour air battle cannot be explained away. Ukraine has offered to share its drone defense expertise, with talks set for September 18th.
Which I think is another suggestion that this was premeditated.
Russia has unveiled its first major memorial to soldiers killed in Ukraine, with hundreds attending a ceremony near St. Petersburg. The monument in Khodrovo, a commuter city outside St. Petersburg, depicts 2 armed soldiers beneath a stone pillar inscribed to the heroes of the SMO, the Kremlin's term for its war in Ukraine. Regional Governor Alexander Drozdenko dedicated the site before residents, many with relatives on the front line. While smaller memorials exist, this is the first official monument in Russia's largest cities to honor those killed in Ukraine. Russia and Belarus are pressing ahead with major joint military exercises across land and sea amid the heightened tensions in the Ukraine war. The Zapad 2025 drills span both countries and the Baltic and Barents Seas, just days after Poland shot down suspected Russian drones over its airspace. Moscow said the maneuvers were scheduled earlier and aimed to sharpen command skills and boost coalition training. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov insisted the exercises, some near the Polish border, are not directed against any other country.